and we are live. So hey everybody out there on the internet, we are back for another episode of Dragon Age Chasing Remnants, our playthrough of the tabletop Dragon Age game. I'm Zom, your GM, and these are our lovely players, Alex, Celeste, and Chrissy. They will be our adventuring party for the duration. So
however long that may be.
Assuming they make it through the story. Or the first quest. So last week, we had our characters, they were on the road to meet up with Cassandra in Paravantium, and they were stopped by an individual claiming to be Cremisius Classy, who had a sort of side job for them to do. They were told that there's some Red Templars holed up in an old abandoned outpost, and just wanted those guys kind of wiped out. So our lovely players, which at the time included Liz playing Reggie, entered the tower, and you guys explored a few rooms. You found a dead body. You took out 2 Red Templars, and then you found yourselves faced with a room full of an unknown number of Red Templars. They attempted to run a bit of a distraction game that was not very effective.
Thought out.
Very quickly gaining the attention of not only the 8 Red Templars that were in that room, but the 3 Red Templars that were in the room next over. They killed one of them. So
there was no they. That was all Idalya.
Idalya killed one of them by basically massacring them, slicing them in twain. And after that point, the party decided to flee from the 10 Templars remaining. And we now find ourselves back where we started, at the front of the tower. After you guys fled, Reggie just kept running. She did not turn. She said, "I am out."
That's the best exit ever.
And she kept on running. So you guys are now faced with the 10 Templars that are still on the 2nd floor as of right now. I think it's the 2nd floor. It might be the 3rd floor. Let me double check.
That was the 2nd.
It is the 2nd floor. Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't make it to the 3rd floor.
No.
We're not that good.
No.
No, it was a good learning experience. This is a very good learning experience.
We definitely
back from that.
You guys find yourselves outside of the Templar Tower currently. So what would you like to do?
How far exactly away are we? Are we like outside the door? Or
You are outside the door.
Mile? Okay, we should probably back up because I assume there'd be 10 Templars about to come after our ass. So, do we need to roll to move further away, or
No.
can we say just
Right now,
like to move?
I'm gonna say right now you guys are out of initiative for the time being. So
we're unaggroed.
But that doesn't mean that Templars can't come popping out that door at us at any second.
They do know you're there.
We need to back up so we can see the tower, but easily there's a ton of room between us.
Yeah, there in the area. There's definitely tree lines around, about 20 feet or so away from the tower itself. Like the area directly around the tower is clear, but there's sort of foresty areas not too far in the distance.
Perfect. Okay, so right now as a level 1, I only can do 10 max damage unless I'm having some stunted rolls. So I'm going to need to repurpose some weapons out of something around us. So I'm going to try and do...
Yeah, is there any, cover or anything that we can... Sorry, Chrissy.
That's okay. Well, I was going to say, I need to do a perception check to see if there's anything around us that could be, like, a weapon, a large board, something that I could pick up and, say, crack someone's head open with. So
and I would like to look for an ideal place for us to use as cover.
Okay,
I'd like to hide behind Val.
You guys can do perception checks if you have something like a nature or any kind of a skill that would apply to, looking for places to hide in trees or looking for improvised weapons. You can go ahead and add that.
Can I flirt with this rock over here? Maybe it'll get bigger and give us some cover?
Are you trying to flirt with the tree?
Yes, I'm trying to flirt with a tree.
Okay, go ahead and give me that roll.
Are you kidding?
depends on if you are.
No, absolutely freaking not. Are you joking? All right, let's do this. Oh, hi, dude. Oh my gosh, your bark is just so rough, and your needles are so green and pokey, and you would just be so helpful in our fight against the Templars. Like, oh, I didn't. Let's see. 9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
It is a tree. It does not respond, but I'm sure that if that tree happens to be into Kunari, you've certainly wooed it.
Did I would it?
No.
We can always knock down the tree and use the Kanara use the tree, wield the tree to hit people down.
Will it be easier for me to knock over? To sweep it up?
How big of a tree is this? Is this like a 30-foot tree or like a 10-foot tree?
It's a decent sized tree.
Like, is it a tree you see hitting somebody with?
Can I try to hug it and pick it up?
Probably the size of your average, I don't know, maple? I don't know about trees. Hang on, let me research trees real quick to find out which ones would be more likely to be attracted to a Kunari and which ones are more choppable, I guess.
You know, it would make sense for it to be a pine since she's pining.
Oh.
Yes!
It's a pine tree.
That makes me so happy.
Two tree puns, that's rough.
Oh man. Okay, so can I like pick it up and maybe like, use it to hit things?
You want to pick up the tree.
Well, why not?
Okay, roll a strength check to yank it out of the ground.
Okay. No, yep, okay.
Are you sure you don't want to break like a branch off or something?
No, she's picking up the tree.
Let her try the tree first, just let it...
16!
So you pull on the tree, and it's a fucking tree. It does not come out of the ground.
Alright, fine. Okay, guys, I'm not having any luck. Do you have any better ideas?
Alhana's basically having a nervous breakdown, trying to just, hit on and then pull out a tree from the ground.
She's a little traumatized. It's the red lyrium. It's doing weird things to her mind.
Okay, so with
Aria
scouting...
comes up and... sorry, you were saying something?
No,
Kristen?
go ahead. You're going ahead, Trick.
Oh, I was just going to say that Aria comes up and puts a hand on Al's shoulder.
I gotta hug her and kind of lay a horn on her.
Come on.
So as all of this is happening, Idalya is just looking under rocks and in trees.
Yeah, did you want to... What was the result of your perception?
So plus scouting, perception, and my roll, that gave me an 18 with scouting.
I am actually going to say you find a small little wooden structure that contains a fair bit of firewood that's been chopped and ready to use, and next to it a bag of charcoal.
Okay. Do you have fire, Celeste?
Fire?
Do you have a fire spell?
I don't. I've got healed Winter's Wrath.
Can we smoke these guys out? Just firewood, set it on fire, just take them out with smoke? Wait, this is a good idea. Can we set fire to this?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Can we put everything kind of in the doorway and just set it up, make it go? Whoosh.
Yeah, does anyone have a flint and steel or matches?
Hang on.
You can tell I don't go outdoors. I'm how do you make fire? I'm
Magic?
Magic? That's what I was how do you have fire? Okay,
I mean, you could also, there's little rocks and things around. It's a general foresty area, so you could definitely do it the oldest school way.
Okay, but could I energize, you get to energize things and they move? The mage? Could I do that to put them into a fire?
Do you have a fucking skill that does that?
No, I just thought that since every mage can do that in Inquisition.
Okay, I have taken a rock and I'm hitting it against one of my swords to see if it sparks.
Just brilliant.
Where the wood is right now?
No. She's just practicing.
Okay.
I'm testing to see if this might work. And I'm hitting it over a little pile of dry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you get some sparks for that. I'll give you that.
Hey guys, let's move this wood.
Now there's a bush on fire.
Can the wood be picked up and used as a physical weapon? Is it that sort of size, or are these?
Yeah, they're fair-sized logs. Some of them are a little bit longer than the others, and they've been cut into quarters.
Okay.
So,
if I was to pick up one of those pieces of firewood, what would you say for damage rolls on those? Like if I wanted to throw a piece of firewood at somebody. Or I hit him, I guess. If it's big enough, I just slam them with it.
Some of them are big enough that you can hold. I'm gonna say I would give you 1d6 for damage on those.
Okay, so that's not improvement.
I am also gonna say that they would probably break if you hit somebody with it hard enough. They're not. It's firewood, so it's dry and meant to be burned.
Will not use them as. So the only projectiles we're using is to make a fire pile, I guess.
Yeah, let's stick all of this in the doorway, as fast as we can.
Okay, so this is actually a very good plan. This would allow us to take out at least, or maybe barricade a room and then set it on fire, kill everything inside.
What if we just stick it in the front door? Because then everybody gets smoke inhalation, and it's just not pretty. Take down the whole tower.
I feel like it would be hard because it's not like so this is like an old school medieval tower, right? So it's just got open windows. There's no windows. There's nothing enclosing it.
No,
there's just gonna be open gaping.
Most of the rooms don't have windows at all.
They're not enclosed spaces, so we would have to ensure that they were an enclosed space and then stack wood. And then inhalation them.
Yeah, I will say
at the front door, it'll just go out the side. It won't go up the
tower. There weren't any windows on the first floor. The only windows in this tower at all are up on the upper floors.
Okay.
And you can see that from the outside because it's a military outpost, so it's not really meant to be pretty and give people views of the outside. So all of the windows are on the upper floor, and they're more like arrow slit kind of things for
Perfect. Okay, so let's smoke them out.
We'll smoke the Templars out.
Okay, so where are you guys piling this wood?
In the doorway.
Just the front door?
Yeah, just because that's the only way in, right?
Yeah. You did not detect any other.
Yeah. So maybe we should look at setting the fire
and detect another way in.
You guys can check if you want to investigate to make sure there's a. You haven't been around to the back of the tower,
I would like to investigate to see if, this is still not my thing, but yeah, I'd like to see if there's a tower, a door around the side, or
Oh,
that's probably a good idea.
So go ahead and I'm going to say you guys
just walk up the back door.
Yeah, that's... then that's not good.
That's really par for the course for this so far right now. I like this, just the Benny Hill theme comes on,
So go ahead and walk. Say you guys are walking around the tower. Give me perception checks or
okay.
13.
13.
Uh, 14.
Okay.
And that's with scouting.
Celeste, are you still with us?
Celeste
she's
just
froze. Yeah.
Celeste, no!
Celeste, she's gone.
And suddenly the Templars have turned Celeste to stone. They're
she went after Reggie.
Oh man, we'll see her on the other side of the vein.
How does this work?
There she is!
She's moving!
Hey,
there she is!
Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, you were frozen there for a bit. What was your perception check, Celeste?
It was an 8.
Okay. Celeste knows that there's a tower.
Or does she?
Alex, Ahana, you notice that there's no visible door on the bottom. And Idalya, you notice that there's definitely no exits on the lower floors. You can see markings at the very top of the tower that look like they may have been used for ladders, but you do not see any ladders at this point in time.
Okay. So if we set a fire that front, we need to come back to this way and wait back there, or at least split up.
Well, I mean, how big is the tower? Can we hear the back from the front?
Yeah, it's not super huge. Yeah,
Okay.
you would probably be able
So
to
from
hear
the outside,
people.
we'd be aware.
Most likely.
Well, at
Assuming you're
least I could
perceptive.
probably stand in the middle of between those doors. I could probably stand away from the party and see both.
Yeah, if you
Probably.
stood like about 10 feet away from the tower to the side of
okay.
it, you can see the front and the back. Like,
Okay, yeah, I don't have to literally put my face in the fire. I believe it's fire.
yeah, it's not a super huge circumference for a tower, so.
That's even better. Perfect.
Okay, so you guys are setting this up, and you're just piling on.
And then can you drag that tree over and we could push that tree against the door after the fire's set?
So
I mean,
you'd
I would
have
love to, but it's like so stuck in the ground.
you'd have
it's
to
right,
cut
come
the
out. I
tree
thought we were
down
doing
first, or do something with it.
I think. I mean, I can.
Never mind, that's cool. We'll stand here and guard. I was just saying if we also had a barricade.
I have a hatchet. I can cut it down.
I will say there's a lot of firewood in that little thing that you found.
okay.
It's definitely like a
Okay,
little.
we're not like trying to kill them with like 5 pieces of wood. We've got like a whole shed.
Yeah, the little like thing that you found. It's not like a full size like your wood shed, but it almost looks like a child's playhouse kind of size.
Okay, perfect.
And so and it was full of wood. It's like totally stocked.
Okay, so I changed it from found some wood to found shit ton of wood. Okay.
Yeah, you found a fuck ton of wood.
Yes. Well, that's an accurate amount I think that we'll need.
Okay, so are you guys piling it all in front of the? What are you doing?
Yes.
How are you
It's in
arranging
front
it?
of the doorway, like it's all in the doorway, and I am trying to
Because
light it on fire.
the building is stone, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so all we do is we let it burn out, we wait it, and then we go in and kill whatever's left or is still remaining alive, and then loot whatever's left rest while we cough and sound like terrible. So I think we got this.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys, is the door open or closed?
It's open. Open.
Close,
Well,
so the smoke doesn't
oh, maybe if we fill the door frame with wood, but
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing.
So you open the door, fill it with wood, and now you're gonna light it.
Yeah,
and
literally
then
to the
light it on
ceiling.
fire.
and then I guess we bang swords at it. I don't.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that you guys were able to make sparks with the rock on the blade, and
That's a good idea. That's great.
and so you've used that too. So okay, you've started the fire.
Okay.
I
Can we
stick
move
a
really
sausage
far
on the
away?
end of a stick, and I'm
I
like,
knew Al was going to use this to eat.
You can move
Yep.
far away if you want.
Yeah, I'm worried that there's something that might be
We should
explosive
back
in there,
up.
and we should back up.
hang
Well,
on,
especially
guys,
if-
I'm gonna finish my hot dog.
Let's hope a bunch of Templars don't ram
Okay.
something of wood at the same time.
So you guys have filled the door with wood, and you've lit it on fire, and it catches fairly quickly. It was a prime firewood. It was definitely ripe for being set ablaze. So you see it go up in pretty. It was a pretty impressive fire. It gets pretty big pretty fast as it starts devouring this wood, and you see smoke. Some of the smoke sort of comes up and around the outside of the tower, but the room beyond, you can kind of tell, is starting to fill with quite a bit of smoke. After about 20 minutes or so, you sort of start hearing popping and cracking sounds that don't just seem to be coming from the wood in the door.
Now I back up.
Were you still roasting sausages?
Yes, I was. I was hungry, like running.
So are you guys just watching this go and
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah, from
I mean,
away as
okay,
possible.
I'm like, okay, so I'm ready and I'm in a defensive stance. I'm actually in like a, I have my guard up,
Okay.
so that if someone charges at me, I'm
And
like,
then we should just keeping an eye on where we saw the ladder marks on the other side in the back here. And nothing's happened over there? We were
No,
standing back to
you have
watch.
not seen anything at the top of the tower yet.
Nothing's happened? Okay.
After about, I'm gonna say 40 minutes, you guys are watching this burn. You don't see a lot going on. You don't see a lot of movement. You do start to see smoke begin coming out of the arrow slit windows at the top of the tower.
how much of it is on fire?
Well, if it's a
Do we
stone
just have like, do
tower,
we
there
just
should
have
be very
smoked
little
Templars at this point?
furniture.
So
There should just be furniture inside, really. It shouldn't be. It's
You
not like the
guys-
fire can really catch and carry too much inside there.
You guys see the smoke, and it at first appears like the same color that was coming out of the door. Not long after that, you do see the smoke change colors. It turns a far darker color. And I am gonna need you guys to make some dexterity saving checks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, okay. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Ooh, I stunted. Does that mean anything on these?
No. I mean, it might. You can look at the non-combat stunts.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have 6 stunt points too if we end up being in battle. And the award for best roll ever is I have 3 6s.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Just like,
Yeah, so check those stunts and then see.
Okay.
I got 15.
so with my whopping dex of 2, that takes it to 20.
I have 15. And 3 stunt
Yeah.
points.
I'm real worried
Okay,
when my
what
luck
stunts?
changes because we're in trouble.
You know, I just went over the combat stunts. I didn't go over any of the other
I
ones.
still don't actually have the list of the normal stunts.
It's on
There-
page 133 of the book. So
you.
133. Thanks, for my life.
33 version. Oh.
That was 133, you said?
yeah, page 133.
I don't
I'm
see
looking-
anything worth using on that. Excuse me.
Really? You don't?
Well, on page 133?
Yeah.
Yeah, the exploration
Yeah.
stunts and role-playing stunts.
Okay. Oh. Efficient search? Or speed. Oh, these are cool! Okay. I have 3 stunt points.
Did you guys all stunt?
I think so.
Okay.
Did you stunt,
I
Celeste?
don't. No.
Okay.
Just be allowed it. But I got 6, so I don't know what's in here, but hopefully it's in something like this.
Okay, I'd like to do a This Makes Me Wonder. I make another perception test at no additional cost in time or resources to discover more information about what's going on.
Nice.
Okay, so that's the one you're going to use?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, it says if there's nothing additional... Well, you can read it. You see it.
Yeah.
DM will not prevent you from... Okay, so yeah, I would like to make an extra perception check.
Okay. Go ahead and do that.
Perception. Perception is crap. Oh,
Okay, there we go.
this is terrible. Can you stunt on a stunt?
No.
6.
Something's gone wrong.
Hey guys, something smells funny.
I will say with a 6, you recall that the front room that you guys had entered had been filled with empty wooden boxes.
Empty wooden boxes?
There was other debris further in the tower.
It was clearly. So maybe
So
we
let's-
should back up.
What's everybody else's stunt? Did you stunt? I'm sorry, did you stunt?
No.
Yeah, okay, so it's just Idalya.
Sorry, this is how blind I am. I'm not sure if any of those are really helpful.
I am going to suggest advantageous position.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the one pointer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I use the other 5 points left over to give them to other people?
No.
I tried. The worst you can say is no.
Yep.
Okay.
So say that one's a no. Okay. So shortly after the smoke in the tower changes color, you guys hear one loud pop, and then the entire tower explodes. Debris comes flying at you. You guys were only about 30 yards away. You are not far enough to escape the radius of this blast. It is massive. It is... It goes off. It's definitely a very powerful bomb that you guys have created here, because as you can see, as the debris flies out, the red lyrium in the tower caught fire.
Great.
Yeah, of course it did.
Go.
Aria and Alhana, you guys both rolled a 15 on your check.
Yes.
I am gonna say you guys take half damage from the blast.
Okay. What does that equal?
The full amount of damage from the blast is 84 points.
Oh boy, I'm like
man.
deceased.
Deceased.
Yeah. So you guys, I think that's 42
Well,
for each of you.
hang on.
Yeah,
I might
that's
not
quite
be down yet.
Okay.
Just a second.
I was going to say, but we're not
Because I had
technically in combat, are we?
No,
You're
and
not.
I had my guard up, so I
Okay,
get a
because we're not.
+2.
So the nice part of not being in combat is if you die, it's rounds of combat plus your constitution, so we can just give you a health potion and heal you. Celeste.
Awesome.
So for Idalya, you actually passed the check. So you would have taken a third of the damage, but because you also chose advantageous positioning, I'm going to say you take a fourth of the damage from the blast. So
And what was it?
you take 21 points of damage.
Okay, so real quick, I had my guard up.
I have like 2 HP.
You're not dead. I had my guard up, which gives me like a +2 to my defense.
Okay.
So how does that play in?
So you guys do subtract your defense from the damage. So
How is your
God,
armor?
that's right. Okay, so I'm not.
No, yeah.
Instead of
Is it
Defense-
or armor?
Defense won't factor into it because that's your that's if someone's trying to hit you and you
Oh, okay.
did
okay.
get hit by the blast, but you do subtract your armor. So
Okay, so you said it was 84 points. It was half of that.
so 42
So
minus your armor.
minus my armor is 38. Oh, I am unconscious.
I'm assuming that Aria is also unconscious, right?
completely knocked out.
Yeah. Okay, but Idalya is up.
I have 10 HP.
Yay! No
Y'all almost total party wiped. Like, we did not get a TPK, so.
Okay, so I don't know what like constitution check I have.
Okay, so-
I'm pretty sure Idalya's having a panic attack.
Idalya, you're still you managed to like dive behind that tree that y'all flirted with, and it protected you from the majority of the damage of this blast. So as you sort of peer around it,
I'm betrayed.
you see just smoke and ruin for probably like a good mile around this tower. The tower has been fairly obliterated. It's a pile of rubble now. There's big chunks of like rock and everything strewn all over the place.
But
And
more importantly, did we kill the tumblers?
we're getting to that.
Fucks.
Boy.
Oh,
I don't like
So
that.
for the time being, you see a lot of rubble. There's a lot of acrid smoke in the air. And you do see your two party members unconscious on the ground.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Are we intact? Do we still have like the?
Yeah, no, you didn't blow to smithereens or anything. Like,
regular
you're not.
numbers? Okay.
You're probably like real messed up and singed and like
My
dirty,
hair,
but
guys, my hair. It's so
Oh
you're unconscious.
I know. That's what she would be saying if she was not unconscious.
So yeah, what would you like to do, Idalya?
Does anyone have healing potions?
You guys should have had a couple each.
I'm not sure if I got one. It was. I
didn't
didn't have
start
it on my
with it.
starting sheet. If there was on the starting sheet, I haven't.
You should have had two apiece. I think you're supposed to start with
Okay.
two apiece. So everybody
Okay,
has two.
Do we have two?
Okay, so I will give each of my healing potions to
Okay.
each of them.
Do they heal to full, or is it a
Because we're out of combat, I believe it heals them to full.
okay?
It's when I think you heal inside battle that it only heals
Okay,
the...
I think that's right. That sounds familiar.
Because the assumption is out of battle we can just rest. And
okay,
stop
so you
if we're
heal
not
them
engaged.
to full. Are you doing anything to yourself?
Well, that was my healing potions. I guess I can... Do they still have their stuff on them? Can I leave their stuff? And okay.
I mean, they're
So
up now. They've been healed.
Like
you
you
sort of you
healed.
open their mouths and shove the potions down, and they
Would Celeste mana have regen, or
Yeah,
would it
I was
still
just about
count
to
as...
ask that.
mana. No.
It would still count as being in battle, so she still has no mana.
Yeah, you
So I
you
need to
have not
borrow
taken a
someone's-
rest since last time, and so mana is a lot more difficult to regen than HP is. So your HP is back, your mana is not. So.
Okay. Well, I still have healing potions, though. No, you said
I'll
you have two.
borrow
Yeah, everybody
a
has
potion
two.
from somebody and pay it back.
Yeah.
Take one. Take two. Take as many as you need.
Okay, I just need one. Okay. Okay, so we are on our feet.
I would like to make a perception check just to see what the hell's going on.
I was actually just to ask all of you to make perception checks.
Oh.
Here's where I critical fail. Come on.
Oh my god. Well, I stunted, but I stunted on double ones.
I just like that I'm rolling
Oh,
these
no.
in this campaign. Let's see.
So I have 4 stunt points.
5, 4, 18.
Okay, hang on. Mine was 7, but I have 4 stunt points, so I want to do a that makes me wonder and immediately make another perception test.
Okay.
That's worse. 6.
I wonder. I'm immediately distracted.
Yeah, I got 10.
Okay. Idalya, you notice that through all of the chaos and the smoke around, that some of the rubble in the center of the tower pile is beginning to move again and shift in a way that is not necessarily settling debris.
Okay, we need to run and kill them. Like, fast.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we just roll for initiation? While they're injured and down, we need to go.
I am going to say everybody roll for initiative. You guys can all have advantage.
Sorry. Hate to die.
Did someone just win a jackpot?
Great success.
15.
Oops. $13.
15.
Okay, so it was 2 15s and a 13.
13.
The 2 15s, just roll a d6 and tell me which one gets higher.
3.
1.
I tried, Celeste. You just didn't want to win, did you?
Okay. Alright, so you guys all roll, and you guys took advantage on that, so you rolled twice and took the higher of the 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you guys Idalya sort of alerts you to the shifting rubble, and you guys all try to ready your actions. You are still just a little too disoriented to catch what's happening unawares. The pile shifts, and then it's almost like a second explosion, but there's no fire and smoke. Just a bunch of rubble explodes into the air. And you see this massive hulking piece of red lyrium just sort of lift itself up and
I knew this.
come lumbering out of the pile of debris towards you guys. And you are facing a behemoth.
Great!
And the
I
behemoth...
was gonna link a picture of that in the chat earlier because I just knew. I just knew when you were talking about the conglomerate baby that it was gonna be a freaking behemoth. I knew. I should have done it.
And so the behemoth actually outrolled you all for initiative. And so it is going to swing for Alhana. First, with its big hulking hand. Let me see if I can give you guys an accurate description of it. Let me find it in the ruins of the...
Oh, I'm gonna die. It's nice knowing ya!
It's okay. We got this. We got this. What would we face? 10 Templars or 1 giant Templar?
These ones are a lot easier to run away from.
Yeah, so this thing is basically, it's a big, jagged piece of red lyrium that's got limbs and it's moving around. It's got one hand that's sort of, it's got a hammer hand on one side, and then the other one almost looks like it's got sort of like a clawed opening on the other side.
Celeste is frozen again.
Oh no!
I was about to tell her to stay as far away as possible, but she's frozen. Can I just pick her up and move her? Physically out of arm.
Just like behind me somewhere.
So I think Alhana's gonna piss it off. I'm gonna like jump on top of it. Oh, there we go. There she is.
Yay, she's back. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Stay as far out of its reach as possible.
So yeah, it's got the big hammer hand, and then it's got another hand that's sort of like it got like almost a latched opening to it in front of it, and it's got jagged spikes all over the place, and it opens a horrifically deformed. It's got almost like a humanoid face in the dead center of the big mass in the middle, and it opens its mouth, and you hear this just hideous, horrific scream come out of it. That almost sounds like it's got this strange song playing underneath it, and it's just discordant and awful. And so this homeboy is going to take a swing at Alhana. And so that is going to be...
Yikes.
A 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
I'm a level 1.
So he smashes into you with the big hammer kind of hand, and it does 13 points of damage.
Okay.
Way better than an explosion.
Oh,
Look on the
yep.
side here.
Okay.
A behemoth feels like nothing when you get hit by an exploding tower.
It hurt. I just got hit by a really big rock. What's going on?
And with that, that's his turn. Idalya.
Okay, I'm going to roll to... Let's see, roll to hit, I guess, first. Oh. $11.
It does not hit.
Nope.
Don't you have 2 weapons?
No. Or I do, but I only get 1 turn, don't I? Because I'm not a dual wielder.
Oh, you didn't spec in that. Okay.
No.
I am the dual wielder.
Yep, she's the dual wielder.
Okay, it is. So you take a swing and a miss. It sort of dodges out of your way. It's surprisingly nimble for a giant hulking piece of rock. So that brings us to Aria.
Oh boy, Aria is unprepared, having had connection.
You cut out a bit there, Celeste.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That I cut out a bit and missed what's going on. But so I'm just.
Did you miss
Aria
what's happening
hit
with
me and it hurt.
with the behemoth?
I'm sure I'll work it out from context if we just keep going to make you guys say anything.
Okay. A behemoth exploded out of the wreckage. That's the summation.
Okay, no, that bit I
Works
got.
for the
That bit I got.
opportunity of her being disoriented.
Yeah. Aria has no idea.
No, I think she's freezing again.
It's in again, according.
I'm sorry, internet. This is the pitfalls of Australian internet, I think.
Me and my blank
It's
screen are a little
garbage.
bit doubtful.
Australian internet is garbage.
Fritz, stop.
There's a Fritz.
Zom your face. Like you just
boy,
resigned yourself to the fact that this is going to happen.
Okay, sorry.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with my internet or fix it. I just keep dropping out.
We'll have to do our best with it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to use Winter's Grasp. So I'm going to roll to see if I can do that, if I have the ability, and I do. And then what is it? It is. They must make a Constitution stamina test that beats my spell power, which is somewhere on my sheet.
Okay. Okay, so he actually critically failed that, so I'm going to give you an extra d6 of damage.
Brilliant. So that's going to be 1d6 plus... Yeah, okay. Sorry.
That's fine.
That's good. Maybe
Red Templars are actually weak to ice, as like Canada was.
Brilliant. Okay, that should be 5 damage, I think.
Okay. And that's with the extra d6?
Yeah, I'm doing my best, I promise.
I'm doing my best.
She's like, I'm doing my best. Okay.
I'm trying.
Great.
And since it's magic damage, it ignores his armor, which is good for you. Okay, so you pelt him with some coldness, and you see a good chunk of his red lyrium. Some of the spikes sort of freeze over, and then they crumble and fall off.
Yeah.
He feels it and screams, and it's a great sound. Okay, and that brings us to Alhana.
Okay, so I am going to use my minor action to put my guard up. So that gives me some extra guard the next time he tries to hit me, because he's a brat. And then I'm going to do an all-out attack where I run at him and whack him with my right sword. It just whatever's close enough. Like,
Okay.
I'm not aiming for anything specifically. Just kind of trying to hit him.
Okay.
So, hang on. Ooh, I stunted. 11.
Okay, so that does not hit. Do you want to? Do you have any stunts that could aid with that?
Hang on, I'm trying to. Let me look.
How many stunt
see.
points
I
did you get?
3. I got 3. Ooh, lightning attack. I can make a second attack against the same enemy within range and sight.
Did you say that wasn't enough to get past his armor? Zom?
Yeah.
She's
but
the one to pierce armor. Half his armor.
No, it's
half
defense
armor.
that you have to beat to
she's
hit.
defense.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'll use a lightning attack because I can make a second attack.
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Cool. And but I don't get any more stunt points if I roll.
Yeah, you can't double stun.
You can always try and disarm him too.
I'm not sure that will work because she missed with the attack, so I think the disarm would automatically fail, but if she's using lightning attack, she gets basically a second chance. It's a
11.
reroll. Yeah, that doesn't hit.
My rolls are crap. Ugh. Okay, well.
Okay, so that brings us
that's the
back
end
to
of my
him.
turn. I've got my guard up though, so I have a +2 to my defense.
And he is actually going to, he's gonna lift his hand and aim the one with the latch towards Aria. And he's gonna open the latch, and he's gonna stunt. And that's 14 to hit.
Yes.
That does hit. Okay.
Yes.
You see what I've never stunted before. Can I try?
That's
What
not
you
good.
just read.
Alright, so he's going to spray you with this, and then he's going to use rapid reload to get a second chance to do this attack. So as he opens the latch on his hand and peppers you with red lyrium shards, you take 13 points of damage, and you also need to make a constitution check.
Sure. For Constitution, that is 13 plus 0, that's 13.
Yeah, you're good. So you just take the 13 damage. And then since he has a second attack for the automatic reload, he is going to then turn and aim it at Alhana.
Okay, that's fine. I've got +2 to my defense. Bring it on.
16?
Nope, misses.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so he sprays red lyrium in your direction, and you sort of like dive and weave out of the way. You're like matrixing this shit, and none of it hits you. Okay, so that brings us to Idalya's turn.
Hopefully this goes a little better than last time. Marginally better. 16.
That's hit.
Hey!
Okay, and I'm going to aim for the elbow of the arm holding the weapon.
Okay.
Is
The
bloody
latched
sword.
arm?
Yeah, I'm going for like between like elbow and shoulder. Like I'm gonna just try and cut his whole arm off if possible. But
Yeah.
That's right, damage. And 9.
It's 9 damage.
Yeah, that didn't make it through his armor. No.
I'm gonna say because you were aiming at a weak point, you don't. It doesn't seem to hurt him, but you do crack the centerpiece of that arm pretty heavily. So you can see like very big cracks forming along that joint where it's bending its arm. And it definitely looks like it's a bit weaker, and it's having trouble holding it as straight as it was.
Fantastic. At least we got a weak spot.
Okay, and now it'll be Aria's turn.
Cool. I am going to Arcane Lance. Do I have to make sure that it does work for that? Or no, because it's not like a mana using spell?
I think Arcane Lance works as a melee attack, almost. So
Awesome.
you roll to see if it hits.
So, do I just roll?
It's 3d6 plus dexterity, I believe.
Thank you so much for my life. 15.
How much?
15.
15? That is a hit.
Excellent. And then 1d6 plus magic. So that is 4 plus... Where is my magic? There it is. 4 plus 4 is 8.
8? Okay. Yeah, so you send an Arcane Lance launching at him, and it lands like square in the middle next to his weird face thing, and you hear him scream in pain.
Nice.
And then a bunch of cracked red lyrium shards just sort of spray off and land on the ground. Okay, and now it is Alhana's turn.
Okay, I am gonna charge at him, and that's gonna give me a +1 on my attack roll, and I am just gonna whack at him where they have both, or on his arm where I saw Idalya whack at him.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna roll.
Look at us strategizing.
Right?
We've come so far in like 15
Yeah, it's
minutes.
stunted.
Brilliant. No, that was all that time while we were waiting for it to catch fire, and that was hilarious.
That's when we matured, was literally right then.
Yeah.
I had 14 and I stunted, so I'm gonna do a second action if.
That's a successful hit, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll roll damage and then I'll use my stunt point. Is that how that
No,
works?
you pick your stunt first to see, because
Okay,
some of them...
I wanted to hit him again.
Do you want to do lightning attack?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll Yeah, roll damage for the first one, then roll to see if you hit with the second one.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Wait, what's damage? Oh, 2d6 plus 1. Okay. 7.
Okay.
Damage. And then roll to see if the second one hits. Oh, 15.
That's a hit.
Okay. And the second one, the second swing, I want to hit in the neck area. So that I get +1 of my damage.
Don't want to aim for the arm again?
I guess I could. I'll aim for the arm again. We'll knock his arm off. That's, I mean, okay, fine.
You've been hit by the
Oh
club.
shit, triple 5s. 15. What does that mean? I get 5 stunt points?
No.
That was for damage.
No, that was for damage.
that's
You don't
true.
stunt on damage.
Okay, well, 15 points.
Okay, you smack into this arm twice, and the first hit where you slam into it, it cracks it very badly, but you still don't see that it hurts the behemoth much. But the second one, you slam into this arm, and you completely shatter the joint. And the sort of cannon part of it just falls off and drops to the ground, and you hear this thing scream in pain.
Hey guys, his arm fell off.
You also notice that it is sort of, it is now sort of favoring that side.
Hang on.
I always see Al picking up his arm and then hitting him with the club, like, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself.
Oh my god. Actually, yeah, can I take a minor action to go over to the arm and try to pick it up?
Yeah, you can pick it up.
Yeah, I want to pick it up.
Well,
Hey
the
guys,
team was
I
a
got his
failure, but
arm!
let's beat him with his own club, Al. Just beat him. Wait, can she use that as a weapon?
I'm going to. Yes, I can. I have a brawling talent. I'm absolutely going to hit him with it.
Okay, so you do that, he takes his damage. You also notice that he is not moving as swiftly as he was and is perhaps not capable of dodging as well as he was before. He's a bit disoriented by the loss of his precious limb. Sorry, let me calculate that
This
damage.
went a lot better than the tree.
Okay, and so he roars in rage and turns towards Alhana, who's quite cross.
I'm waving at him with his arm.
Oh, he's mad. He's so
I
mad.
love the poetic symmetry of him starting the battle, whacking her with the hammer, and her ending it just bludgeoning him to death with his own arm.
Something is just yours.
So he's going to take a swing at you with his other arm. 16 to hit?
Yes, it hits.
Okay. So you are going to get smashed with this arm, and you are going to take 9 damage.
Alright.
Minus your armor first.
Yeah, minus your armor
your
first,
armor.
because
I
it's
left
melee.
that at the last. Oh, do I get to subtract that every time?
Yeah, every time melee.
It's your armor.
Armor does not block magic damage, but it blocks any melee damage.
Oh, well that is really cool.
Just make sure you're
Okay.
subtracting your armor, not your defense. That's a different
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Oh, they're very different numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, you said you hit me for 9 points?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. I still got your arm. I still got your arm.
Okay, and that brings us to Idalya.
Okay. 14?
That is a hit.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna aim for the part of the body where the arm has been severed off. I'm sure there's some type of open wound type area. I'm gonna try and jab for that.
Okay. Did you critical fail?
3 ones. There's that good old rolling. Such high, so low. Okay, so I fell into his wounds.
So you shove
into the behemoth.
you're using a dagger, right?
Yeah.
You shove your dagger into the wound. I am going to need you to make a strength check.
Your face, Zom. You're way too satisfied right now.
I love critical fails.
That was much better. Okay. 14.
How much?
14.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you shove your dagger in and
My dagger stays
you
in the
discover that you cannot pull it back out.
Okay, let me find my other weapon. Thank God I got another weapon. Would have been bad.
And so he's now got instead of an arm, he's got a little wee dagger sticking out of the side.
Here I was feeling like I was the shit because I missed being blown up by the building, only to lose my fucking weapon in the behemoth. Only me,
Yeah, that's
man.
kind of worse.
Me.
Oh, this is such a good session. Okay, Aria, it's your turn.
Well.
Yeah, okay. I would like to use aiming at the head on the side that the arm that's broken off isn't. I want to get the attention away from the dagger and Idalya, who's probably very, very close right now. And that is a 14 to hit.
Success.
Yay! And then 9 damage.
Okay. Ooh. You explode just a massive chunk off the side of his head. He's not looking good. Like there's cracks all through the center of his system, and he is looking very disoriented and very not great. And Alhana.
Okay, so I'm going to take his arm, and I am going to go for his throat with it.
Okay. Go ahead and swing. Swing to see if you hit.
Yes, and I actually have a talent that helps me do this.
Okay. That is a hit.
All right.
So I'm gonna say this weapon does 2d6 damage.
Cool.
This weapon.
9 points.
Okay. So you slam it into him, and basically.
No, I'm sorry. 10 points. 10 points. I added wrong. 10 points.
You slam it into him, and it hits one of the bigger cracks, and he just shatters into a bunch of pieces and crumbles
I beat him to death
Oh,
into a bunch of pieces
Celeste is
on
frozen
the floor.
again.
Oh no! That's okay, because I'm gonna need Alhana to make a Constitution check.
A Constitution check. Okay. What
Yeah,
is
you
that,
just
3d6
exploded
plus
red
my
lyrium in your
Constitution?
face.
I also have a stamina focus. Is that
No.
correct?
No.
$13.
Okay. You did not pass that check. At this moment in time, you have been affected by the red lyrium weapon that you picked up and tried to wield on your own.
Shit.
Yikes.
So I'm going to say your hit points are currently reduced permanently by 2.
Okay.
And you still have a red lyrium poisoning effect that if you don't resolve at some point will continue to lower your HP.
Okay.
So your total hit points are reduced by 2. You don't take any direct damage right now, so you don't need to subtract it, but you can no longer, like, whatever your maximum is, you subtract 2 from that.
Okay.
Keep track of what your actual maximum is, though, because it's a temporary effect for the duration of the poisoning.
Okay.
I feel like Al would be like totally worth it.
She is, yeah.
Get a little lyrium poisoning to kill him with his own hand, like.
You say that now.
It's like, yeah, it got poisoned, but I totally killed him in style, and like style points are everything. Like, your brand is your life, and so you
When
know.
he exploded, did my dagger fall? Is my short sword out somewhere?
Yeah, your short sword's there, and you can.
Okay,
you can pull it
otherwise
back
I was
out
gonna
now.
have to punch him the next round.
I'd like to roll perception to see if there's anything else moving around.
Yeah,
You
we
may
should all roll for
absolutely do
perception.
that.
Everybody roll for perception, please. So she can excitedly tell us there's nothing left.
15.
Double. Oh, wait. That's right. I don't.
14.
19. Then I got stunt points.
Sorry, hang on. Okay. So, would you say you get Idalya a 19?
19.
Okay. You actually, as you're sort of poking around the rubble, nothing's moving. Everything's super dead. Like, there's nothing left alive anymore. You do actually happen to find a sort of, you lift a rock and you do find a couple items in a pile sort of in this rubble. It is a set of armor and a dagger. And I'm going to put these in the chat. And then I'll read what they are.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. So you pick up a dagger that has Emily's memento carved into the hilt. It does a +2. It adds +2 to your attack roll, and the damage is 1d6 + 4. You can also detect as you hold it that it has a sort of enchantment added to it that would make you harder to hit the better you perform with the dagger. And so what that translates into is when a character rolls triples while attacking with this dagger, they cannot be targeted by any ability, spell, or attack until their next turn. And the other thing you find is a set of armor. It's kind of beat up a little bit. It's charred and not looking super great. You can tell that it might have been a bit nicer before the explosion.
There's people that can repair armor. You can get it.
But you do pick up a set of heavy plate Templar armor that's a little more embellished than you would see out of regular Templar armor. It's a lot nicer. It's made out of nicer material. It's got an armor rating of 10. The armor penalty is 4. And then attacks that would do less than 3 damage after subtracting the armor rating no longer affect you at all. So it nullifies any damage that's 3 or less. And that applies to both magic and melee.
So, like, generally speaking, there's not a whole lot of Kunari who join the Templars, so, like, this probably is not going to fit me super. But I'll put it in my bag and we can sell it.
I mean, you could try it on. It could have been
I
made
think you
for a
should
very
try it on
tall
and make sure
person.
it does not fit Al.
Oh, it's so clunky, but okay.
It super fits.
It's 10 armor. It's 10
yes,
armor.
I try on the armor.
Yeah, it fits.
Oh.
You can make it work.
Hey
You can rock
guys,
that.
look at me. I'm chasing mages. Come here, you dirty little mages. Totally kidding.
Wow,
I'm
timing
kidding.
Kansas
I'm
got
kidding.
real awkward.
Oh, I'm kidding. Oh, ew, not like that. Ugh. No, I was teasing. Ugh.
Your tree love is
Rogues
offended.
just don't understand. I go hug my tree.
Tree's always there for you.
Yes, it is.
I mean, like,
Tree
forever,
understands me.
forever after this, when Ohana pisses you guys off, you could just be like, just go hug your fucking tree. Go cry to your tree about it.
I will go cry to my tree about it. Guys, my hair got singed and it smells.
Is it okay with everybody if I take the dagger?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Okay. Mine's still probably part temporary. I'm just gonna.
Okay, so I guess this renders my character sheet useless. Yay.
You're welcome.
Frost off. So,
Okay, when do I use the penalty again? The armor penalty?
The
Like, what is
penalty will only apply if you're casting, I believe. Because the armor penalty basically applies like, so if you're trying to cast magic, it lowers any kind of check that you're making to be successful.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, so it's not really applicable to you, but like if a mage is trying to wear heavy plate armor, they're going to be taking that penalty. So.
Okay.
Fritz, stop.
Cool. Hey guys, how does it look?
Amazing. You look good.
Aw,
sturdy.
thank you. Does my butt look big?
Always. But that's a
the right
compliment.
answer. That's the right answer. I'm supposed to have a big butt. Have you seen me? I'm like 7 feet tall. I have a little something in the trunk.
At some point, she's going to hip check somebody through a doorway, and we're going to be very. Like, suddenly you're ambushed, and she's like, nope, I roll to hip check that dude back out the doorway.
Yay, I got new armor. Hey guys, we made a really big mess, and I don't know if this was necessarily the way that they wanted us to deal with it, but I guess everything's dead, so...
Somewhere Lily Hawk is just like really celebrating and she doesn't quite understand why.
My peel.
She must be proud of us.
The tower exploded with Templars in it. She's like, it's a good day.
Somewhere Anders feels proud and he doesn't know why.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting to start the campaign following in his footsteps.
Do we level up at the end of the battle here?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you guys gained a level for not dying completely in that explosion.
Yay!
Like,
Okay,
as
so
bad as that
that's
went,
like-
that's probably about as good as it could have gone in some ways.
You should be pretty happy that you survived that with your
And we
10
did
points
it with
of health.
style.
Well, I'm glad that was not my critical fail roll.
You would have
That
taken
was-
all the damage, which was 84
Apparently,
total.
I'll be able to roll perfectly just to survive and nothing else.
Yeah, I rolled a
That's important
d20.
though. One of us needs that skill.
I rolled a d20, I think, 8 times to figure out that damage. So
Oh my god.
y'all blew up a tower full of red lyrium. You basically set off like a small nuclear bomb. Like. Just sat back and thought you'd watch it burn. It was almost a good plan.
I threw up the hot dog I was eating earlier.
Your hot dog was obliterated in the explosion.
Oh, yeah, sad story.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to roll the d6 for health.
Okay, I have no idea how leveling up works.
Yes.
Are you just leveling up right now, Chrissy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out off this.
Yeah,
I'll
me
do
too.
the skills
Me
and
too.
stuff later, but I want that health d6 Diane.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, so Aria, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that like picking up that arm was totally badass in the long run, but like it also kind of poisoned me a little bit.
Oh shit.
Can you fix that at all? Is that something?
Can I fix that? What do I roll?
What do you have for your spells? You
I
can't
don't
just
think
like.
we can fix
No.
that.
But do I like have any knowledge about red lyrium and poisoning or
So you need to have something to like as a character that could do something with it. So
right?
yeah, so it's not just like you don't innately have skills and abilities like as a mage
Oh, yeah,
just
of
because
course.
many mages in Dragon Age might. It's like so we have to stay true to the system. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the fact that we have Inquisition affiliations, there should be someone through the Inquisition that can help us do that. So, but it's not going to be now, unfortunately.
That's fine. I just wanted to ask. You know.
Yeah, I've got nothing. I don't know a single thing about it, and I don't.
Alhana,
It's cool.
are you keeping the weapon?
No. No, I dropped.
I think it's already gone.
Yes.
She's like, I threw it in the woods at the tree.
I feel like she stuck it up in what's left of him like a flag. And
Like a flag, yep.
Something, yeah.
I like
Is that
that.
where you put your rainbow flag that we have from session?
Yep.
The gay agenda in Thetis is blowing up towers, planting flags behind.
According to Anders, yes.
I mean, that is what Kirkwall was really about, is the gay agenda. The bisexual
They
agenda.
stole his boyfriend. He blew up a tower.
Fair.
They made fun of our pride flags. We blew up their tower.
Alright, so you guys ready to march onward?
Yeah. I think so. Wait, how do we regenerate, like, mana and, like, because don't we...
Did you guys want to just stop and take a rest after all that?
Yeah, I think,
Just set up a tent literally where we are, like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Like,
You can...
I'd like to move a little bit, like, away.
Into the trees. Let's go back
That's
into
fine.
the trees.
There's not much fucking alive within like a mile radius. Like, you guys obliterated.
Far away from the singing lyrium.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of red lyrium hanging about, but...
So we're gonna hike exactly a mile and then camp.
Okay, that's fine.
In the trees, like, away from
The
stuff.
border, and then we camp on it.
Yeah.
I'd like to, like, make, like, a perception check to see if there's, like, a good place for us to kind of hide for the night.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, you know, that explosion's gonna send things running, and, like, I don't really want to talk to anybody right now.
Sorry, what were you saying, Celeste?
Is there too much lyrium for us to even try to clear? Because it would be an awful shame if some passerby got their hands on some of this.
If you want to try to clean some of it up, what do you want to try to do?
Yeah, I had to thought
Just
about
send a
that.
raven to the Inquisition and go, oops.
Yeah. We did our best.
I'm pretty sure,
By the way.
I'm pretty sure Iron Bull heard the explosion somewhere and is like, dang.
Yeah, because Krem could not have gotten that far before he's like, so it's just Krem any minute.
I mean, Krem just turned around and was like, yeah, they're part of the Inquisition now.
I mean, he did say, like, kill everything. No matter how you do it.
He didn't say how.
Yeah, like, technically we did that.
Mission complete. 3 stars.
Job well done. There's nothing alive.
Okay, can we... So, like, what happens with your rest? Unless you get spells back, or how does that work?
Yeah,
I don't know how to regen mana.
if you're resting, you regen it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's
Awesome.
short rest. I think only does. I'm gonna say you guys probably took a full night's sleep after that.
Yeah,
You can get
8 hours of sleep restoration for all mana, or 1d6 plus magic per hour of rest.
Yeah.
So if we were like in the middle of something, we could say take a time out for an hour.
Yeah,
and you could get
it's like the
1d6
difference
back.
between a short rest and a long rest in D&D.
Do we get our hit points back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've all recovered mana, hit points, all that jazz.
I'm slightly less squishy.
And you wake up the next morning feeling refreshed and jaunty as you prep everything. Everybody except for Alhana, who feels a little sicker than she was. And you've lost an additional 1 HP.
Permanent or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
shit,
no.
y'all, this is
It's the
every
effects of the
fucking day?
poison. So it's
Oh, no.
you believe that you may get weaker every time you take a long rest.
Hey guys,
okay,
we
so the
really
next-
need to go see a doctor or a healer
Yeah.
or an
Yeah, well,
anti-poisoner because I'm sick.
We need to travel to the next town and send some communication to the Inquisition.
Well, you guys remember you're meeting up with Cassandra in the next town. So
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
All I
stuff this out.
Man, this is gonna be like you being yelled at by my angry mom.
So we're traveling to our next destination.
Okay, so you guys get on the road and you head towards Paravantium.
I just want to note that I am like totally singing the whole time we are walking? Because it scares the bears away.
It does.
Yes.
Like for real, I do that when
It
I'm
also
hiking.
alerts everyone to our location.
It's a lovely song. Occasionally, it takes on a strange, discordant tone, and you don't seem to notice it happening.
All right. Okay.
I love tabletop games.
I don't.
Celeste, you okay?
Oh boy. Right. So where are we going?
To meet Cassandra and go get her.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Okay, I'm literally like I'm singing the songs that the bard in the tavern in Skyhold wrote.
Okay.
So I'm currently traveling around going, I am the one who can recount. And yeah, so that's
I don't know if that's a good
what I'm
idea.
doing. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Did you guys want to have any discussions or anything as you travel?
I think we should walk as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, raise your hand if you're scared of cats.
Cassandra immediately.
Scared of what?
If you're scared of cats. We survived the Templars. Are we gonna survive her?
Guess we'll see.
Okay, so you guys arrive in Paravantium. It is a little bit larger of a town than Hasmal was. It's got a few more things hanging about.
I'd like to see if I could get my armor fixed somewhere at some point. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, be a good time to do that.
I don't like looking.
In this town, you can kind of see laid out in a sort of way that you can sort of determine on the map by looking at the buildings and things like that in tandem with the map. There is a garden, a temple, two different districts of living quarters, a tantry, an inn called the Inn of Ashan, which is where Cassandra asked you guys to meet, the inn and the tavern. And then there is also a blacksmith and a general store.
Hey guys, would anybody mind if we went and talked to the blacksmith real quick? Because I really don't want to meet the Seeker looking like someone just beat me up. Like, I know that's what happened, but... You know, I don't want to make a bad impression on her, because, like, she seems super serious.
I like that she's more concerned about her ugly armor than the fact that she's literally poisoned with red lyrium.
I mean, you know...
That's on brand for Ahana. Like...
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the blacksmith. I have no idea how this works, but I'm gonna go to the blacksmith.
So you head towards this blacksmith thing that you can sort of determine on the map, and beneath a small awning lined with soot, you see the entrance to a brick building with a newly painted sign declaring it the Honest Smithy. Upon entering, you see a great number of half-finished weapons, armor, and various inexplicable sort of items that are bedecking the walls of the shelves. Most of them look like they're sort of in-progress projects. A tall woman with biceps the size of modest trees is sitting behind the counter in the back of the room. She has short, shaved blonde hair, some of it darkened with smears of soot from the blazing furnace behind her. And she looks up at your entrance and she waves, a big grin splitting her square face. And she says, "Welcome! Come in! Welcome to the Honest Smithy, where art is just as important as quality, and you'll never get the same thing twice."
Oh my gosh, this sounds like just my new favorite place. Hi, I'm Al. I'm so excited to be here. How are you?
Well, I'm just chipper as can be. Welcome, Al. What are you looking for today?
Okay, so like, my friends and I just had this like really scary thing happen to us, and I got this great armor out of it though, but it's like kind of beat up, and I have to go meet this really important dignitary, and like, I just don't want to go looking like something just ran me over. So, do you think, and at this point, I kind of like flirt with her a little bit. Do you think that, you know, you and your big strong arms and your like super awesome sense of like artistry could like maybe like dress it up a little bit for me? Because I think that would just be like so cool.
Her face like lights up. She's doing like the Steven Universe star eyes at you. She's just like
Hal has a seduction skill point too, right?
She doesn't even need to roll. That was all successful. Like this girl, she said a bunch of magic words that are exactly what this girl wanted to hear. Like she's like, and she's just kind of like, I'm so excited you came in today. So we enchant, we engrave, we solder, we splice, you name it, we can do it. The only thing we ask, aside from a modest fee, is that we're allowed artistic freedom, and you definitely seem like you are in on that.
I am like, yes, I'm so about the artistic freedom. Can I just make like one little request?
Okay, hang on a sec. So I am going to explain to you how this system works. This is a very particular kind of blacksmithing system that I have invented.
Oh boy.
So this is a group of blacksmiths that started in the free marches and have sort of expanded out throughout the rest of the world. And basically they've created a network of very specific blacksmith shops. So how this works is you can give them as few as 2, as many as however many items you want to give them for any specific work that you want to be made. And the blacksmith will combine those items and give you something that is improved.
Okay, yeah, you did that. This was the unlucky one too, right?
Yeah, I put it in the lucky as well.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, this sounds really familiar. Okay,
so cool. The thing is, you can't request what kind of item you get back. You can't request what kind of stats it comes with. That is all going to be so I just wanted to pop in here and record this video to say it looks like the audio for the end of this episode actually had a glitch to it. Unfortunately, my audio as the DM got lost. You can hear everybody else, but not mine, so it doesn't make for very good, watchability. So I've gone ahead and edited it out. Luckily you guys didn't miss too much. They talked with the blacksmith a little bit more. They turned in a handful of items to have the blacksmith remix for them. And then they went to the tavern and started their conversation with Cassandra. They didn't get very far in it. They basically just confirmed that they're interested in the quest, that Cassandra's not going to give them much information about the artifact, and they dropped the bomb that Alhana has red lyrium poisoning. This basically started a negotiation where they wanted Cassandra to help her with that. Alhana didn't help her case much. The conversation did end with Cassandra asking what is wrong with her. But that's about all you missed. The conversation does pick up in the middle at the beginning of the next episode, which kind of recaps everything and gives you a good idea of where the story's headed and what's going on, so you're not totally lost. Again, sorry that we had some technical issues that sort of ruined the audio. Hopefully we can avoid that in the future. It wasn't something that we noticed as we were playing, so, hopefully things go smoother from here on out. Not a lot we can do about it now. It didn't save on either the Twitch stream or the hard drive of my computer, but I'm going to do my best to try and pay attention and make sure things are hunky-dory from here on out. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully you're excited to tune in and watch the next episode, which should be up on YouTube shortly. Yeah, if you want to watch the episodes live, we stream every Saturday from 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 11. And it's been a wild ride so far, and I have a feeling it's going to get even more crazy. I've got a lot planned for these kids. So hopefully we'll see you guys in the Twitch stream, and if not, catch us on, the Twitch VODs will be up, and then also on YouTube as soon as I can get them edited and posted. So thanks so much, and guys have a great time.